What is up, folks? It is good to be back home in LA, back in the studio, ready to share some more indie filmmaking tips and check out some cool new gear. Today we're checking out this cool new monitor that PortKeys sent to me for review. This is the LH5H. It is essentially the BM5's little brother. So before we dive in and check out all the features and options that the LH5H offers, I want to show you guys this crazy little device that I've created with the PortKeys LH5H. This right here is a director's monitor slash first AC focus polling machine. Basically what I've done here is I've taken the LH5H, mounted it on top of a small rig top handle. I've connected it to a Hollyland Mars 400S transmitter via this little thin mini HDMI cable. I've also attached here on the side my Tilta Nucleus Nano motor, and then I have these 3/4 inch eyelets so I could attach a Pike design leather strap so you can wear it over your neck and relieve some of the weight. Or on the bottom here, you'll notice what I've been using for a handle is also a mini tripod. So you can just put this down anywhere on a table, pop off the Nucleus Nano wheel, and away you go. So here are all the parts I used to create this crazy device. As always, there will be links down in the description below. I just thought that was a little nifty tool for any of you interested in wanting to check it out. I've been using it to pull focus for myself for this talking head and other things that I've been working on. So yeah, just wanted to share that with all of you. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's dive in and talk about this LH5H. This is a full HD resolution monitor that can accept a 4K signal. It has a 5.2 inch 1700 nit bright screen that is protected by tempered glass, and it comes fully calibrated from the factory with X-Rite color calibration. You have 4 programmable function buttons on the top. It is fully touchscreen and also has HDMI in and out with a headphone monitoring jack. You have a USB port down here on the bottom for uploading new firmware and all of your 3D LUTs. You have another port here on the bottom for camera remote control via a link if your camera doesn't have Bluetooth capabilities. Also, what you have here is another little port. You can power some cameras through the Sony NPF battery of this monitor, but you can also power and monitor the Tilta Nucleus motor. So the coolest part about this monitor is that it has complete Bluetooth control of your camera. So if you own the Pocket 6K or the Pocket 4K from Blackmagic Design, you can control all of your camera settings, change your frame rates, the codecs, the resolution, record command, all of that good stuff directly from the monitor screen itself. Now the LH5H is compatible with a lot of other cameras, even if you don't have Bluetooth control. Like I said before, there is this camera remote via cable. So I'm gonna leave a link to this monitor down in the description below so you can check out all the specs for yourself. Now, an extra bonus to me, in my opinion, of this monitor is that you can also run power and control your Tilta Nucleus follow focus motor. So it works with both the Tilta M and the Tilta Nucleus Nano. But we'll dive into that a little bit more in depth later on. So right now this LH5H is going for $299 over on Amazon, so it's roughly half of what the BM5 is going for. And all you're really missing is the higher nits, the SDI ports, and that aluminum build. Other than that, you get pretty much all the same features that the BM5 offers. Okay, so now that we got all that out of the way, let's head outdoors right now in this beautiful 110-degree weather we have right now in LA, and I can show you all the cool features and options the PortKeys LH5H offers, while also showcasing its wonderful 1700 nits of brightness. Okay, folks, so here we are outside, and you can get an idea of how bright it is out here at ISO 400. We're at an f22. I'm gonna jack it all the way up to 10. So there we go. Now you can see, it's a little difficult. I mean, it just looks like looks like the screen is off actually. And then you can see what's going on with the PortKeys. So this is jacked all the way up at the maximum 1700 nits here. We are at brightness 10. So this little cable right here is something that PortKeys sent me. And this is so I can plug it into the bottom of the monitor. This other part right here connects to the Tilta Nucleus Nano motor. And you'll see I'm going to get complete control. I can pull focus on my manual lenses via the Tilta Nucleus Nano motor directly through the monitor. Okay, so we're on the pipe right now, so I'm going to label this point A, right? And then I'm gonna come all the way down here, all the way in the back. And I see why they added this focus peaking. It's to try to help you know what's in focus. So it just momentarily turns on. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, all the way in the back, we're gonna call that point B. Now you'll notice I have this set to 1 second. So we'll see how fast it goes. Not bad, pretty good. We're gonna go back now, tap it again, and boom. And now we'll do it again, and boom. And we'll do it again, and boom. One more time. Yeah, so to me that is probably the coolest feature of this monitor. What you do is you can tap and then all your settings come up. So you see down here is the brightness, then we have contrast, chroma, sharpness, tint, and color, temperature, and your anamorphic. Now we can look at all the different flavors of anamorphic. We have custom user anamorphic, so you can set your own user anamorphic, but you have 2.35, 2 times, 1.85, 1.66, 1.5, 1.42, 1.33, and then the 1 times, which is just normal. But what's pretty cool is the user. So you can completely just make your own anamorphic D-squeeze any way you want it. Let's see how far we can push it. So yeah, it looks like you can go, let's see how high. I want to see how much we can squeeze the anamorphic. So as you can see, you can change it in decimals. So all the way up to a 3 squeeze. So we can go all the way up to a 3 times squeeze with all increments in between. So that's pretty awesome there for all of my anamorphic users. For now though, we don't have an anamorphic lens, so we're just gonna go back to normal. Let me put this back on 6500. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So even though it comes fully calibrated from the factory with the X-Rite color calibration, you do have full abilities to fully customize this thing however you like, and I like that. That's a cool feature. We'll just keep going down the line here. This right here is so you can do your flip mode, all the different flip modes, flip it whichever way you want, horizontally, vertically. This is cool for all of my shooters that are doing Instagram commercials or anything of that nature. That's pretty cool. You have the ability to fully look at this thing vertically flipped. Then of course we have transparency here, your language. You can set the fan to middle, low, or high. That's cool. Here you notice there is an option to turn on or off the custom X-Rite color calibration. So that's interesting as well. Here's where we can load the LUTs. Now, PortKeys did give me this USB. It comes in the box. I put a Juan Malara's P4K to Alexa Rec 709 LUT on here. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to put the USB right here on the bottom of the monitor, and we're gonna load the LUT. So here we go, stored from USB. Let's go to USB looks, and we'll walk through the process of this. Here you'll see there's a folder. This is much like how it was on the BM5. I'm gonna tap here. Let's see, what is that? Here we go, there it is, P4K to Alexa Rec 709. We're going to tap that. You can see it's loading that LUT. We'll see how long it takes to load it up. And, okay, it looks like it's in the system. I guess I'll hit return and return. And maybe I'll just X out of this. And we'll go back to the screen. Now we'll see 3D LUT stored from USB. Yeah, we can see that I'm on. I just turned it off and then I tap it on, and now my Juan Malara LUT is on. I can turn it off, or we can turn it back on. I'm not sure how many LUTs you can store on this, but I'm sure it'll tell you if you click on the Amazon link down in the description below. Here we have our volume meters for audio, and there is a headphone jack on the side, which I showed earlier. And then this shows you what firmware you have on here. I do have the latest firmware that I downloaded from the PortKeys website. It's pretty simple. You go to their website, you put it on the USB drive, and then you pop it into the monitor and it uploads. Okay, so there's those general settings right there. As you can see, this is my little color checker chart, just kind of showing the color rendition of this thing. Okay, so now let's go in here. I'll show you some other cool features of this bad boy. So in here, this is a status screen, so you can tell the signal that you're getting. Shows that I do have a LUT on. This is the brightness here, and if you just tap this, we can really crank up the brightness all the way to the full 1700 nits. but we'll keep it on low for the sake of this video. Here I can adjust my fan real quick to be low, middle, or high. So if I'm out there in that 106-degree weather, I can crank on the fan full volume. I'm gonna get right over here with my microphone. So that's how loud it is on high. I'm gonna switch to low. Low is nothing, like you don't hear it at all. I really dig that. And then when I click it on a middle, get a little bit of a hum. Not too bad. That high is really cranking out though. And then here, you know, you have a battery status voltage of your battery, and it does power via one Sony MPF battery. The battery life's pretty good. But let me show you what else is cool about this custom page. So I can tap this plus button here, and now these are all the things I can add to my page to have quick access to. So check field, we can tap this. Now you can assign that to an F key, or you can just have it along the scene here. Now if I tap again, now I can add another one. Okay, I'll add my guides. I can add another one. Let's add my peaking. And then I'll add another one. I can add false color. I can add another one. Let's do my Luma histogram. Let's add another one. Now it's down here, Luma waveform. Add another one. I'll add my RGB waveform. Add another one, my audio meters. And you could essentially just add all of these. You have zooming, you can throw that on there. And we know what all the others do, grids and all of that. Or you can assign each one to the F key. You have 4 function keys at the top, so you can quickly access them. But let's get out of here for a minute. So as you can see, now when I tap this, now all of my assist tools are already in here. So that's pretty rad. So for instance, I can tap this and I can zoom in really close. Tap it again and we zoom out. I can tap here and now I have my audio meters. So my audio meters are up here at the top. Now if you want to change the settings on any of these, you just slide next to the logo, and here you can see I can reposition the audio meters anywhere I want, on the top, on the bottom, on the sides. You can make them translucent, not translucent. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you have the option to turn it on or off. So then I can slide over. Now here's the same way. I can adjust the zooming option of this, turn it on or off that way, but also you can change the settings. You can have an exact user ratio of where you want to zoom in at. You can tell what portion of the screen to zoom in on. Pretty interesting. So I'm going to get out of that now. You can go here, and this is the RGB waveform. So again, if I slide over, I can tell where to put it. So that's pretty cool, and you can expand it. You have this I like. You can turn on a warning, so that will give you a little warning where you're clipping. You can change the brightness of these guys, and you can turn the blending on so you can see through it. So I kind of dig that. So you could throw that up in the corner. So essentially you could start building your own little thing, and then I could turn on my Luma histogram, and then that would be down in the corner there, and you'll see where that was. So now my histogram's down here, my RGB waveform's up there. So it's pretty cool. You can just have these on, you can turn them on, you could turn on the normal waveform, and then I could position that guy over in that corner. And yeah, so there you see, there's the normal waveform. Let's see, can we have both of those on at the same time? RGB waveform. Yeah, so it looks like you can't have both waveforms on at the same time. So, you know, it's interesting what you can have on and what you can have off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this guy as well. So you just notice how quick it is to turn each of these on or off. The false color, we can switch that on. It does show you a little guide here so you can read the false color of this particular monitor. Every monitor is a little different. Every manufacturer is a little different. Here's our focus peaking, and you can control all of this. The sensitivity style, you can change the kind of style that it is. This is pretty cool. You can go into kind of that X-ray mode like what we saw on the Atomos monitors. So that's pretty interesting, all these different options that you have for the focus peaking. You have guides, of course. This is rad. So now if you saw my episode on the Quibi, or if you're over on the Patreon, we talked about Quibi a lot. This is cool. You now have a 9:16 framing. So if your monitor down below on the camera is doing a 16:9, up top you can have a 9:16, and this is great because if you're doing a pilot for Quibi, you have to record both aspect ratios at the same time. So that's pretty cool. You can monitor that, and I like that they have that as an option. You have tons of different framing guides on here, which makes it really, really nice. All these different framing options. And of course you can fully customize your own. You have this check field, and this is cool too. You can check the different fields of your shot. And let's see, there was more, of course. Let's see what else they had on here. Yeah, underscan, let's see what that is. We will throw that on there. Okay, underscan is, so here you can see what's doing. You can go all the way down, and this will show you that. Turn that off. Okay, and then we can add more stuff. Of course, the 3D LUTs. You could have all your different 3D LUTs on there. Your zebras, the crosshairs, the grids. Let's see what different grids they have. Let me slide over and we can adjust this. So here you see we can turn on the grids, and you can fully tell it how many regions you want. You can change the colors of the grids. So yeah, lots of cool features you can throw on this screen, fully customize that yourself. Okay, now let's jump in here, and now we're going into the complete Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera control. This is all Bluetooth done within the monitor. As you can see here, I can change my shutter angle. We can do all of that. As you can see here, it's changing the shutter angle, making the image darker or brighter. I'm gonna put this back on 180 real quick. We can change the ISO in here. I'll put that back down on 400. Now I have a fully manual cine modded lens, but if I had an electronic lens, I could change the iris and zoom and focus, all of that as well. You could also do auto exposure, which is interesting. You can change your frame rates. Now this is cool too, because you could instantly hit your off-speed frame rate recording, go into those higher frame rate modes and dial in whatever one you wanted. We're going to turn that off for now. We can change your white balance to whatever you want it to be. So that's cool. It even has all the same presets that are stored inside of the Pocket 4K. So that's fine. We're gonna go put it back on 56 Kelvin actually, take the tint off. Okay, yeah, you have the option to control the tint up there. You can change the codec that you want, Blackmagic RAW or ProRes, or whatever flavor of Blackmagic RAW or whatever flavor of ProRes. Then of course you can go in here and change your resolutions, which is always really cool. And this is all changing on the camera. Okay, so that's rad right there. You see how quick you can get to that stuff. And yeah, and then you'll see the different cameras this works with here. So Zcam E2, the BM5s, the Canon, Panasonic, Sony FZ100, Sony FW50, Sony Multi, Panasonic, USB. So see, there's plenty of different options. Like I said before in the intro, it just depends whatever camera you have based on whatever Bluetooth control that camera offers, or if you need a specific cable which plugs in underneath this camera remote port down here at the bottom. That's up to you to decide. You'll have to check out the specs for yourself over there on Amazon or on the PortKeys website. Hey, if you're a fan of the channel and like to support, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first and easiest way is to just hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell so you get the latest videos as soon as they're dropped. But if you want to go above and beyond that and be a part of a daily filmmaking conversation, then I invite you to join the Dog Times community over on Patreon. That is where once a week I release an exclusive members-only video breaking down projects, talking gear, and sharing real-world experiences as a DIY indie filmmaker in Los Angeles. But my favorite part about the Patreon is the conversations happening over on Discord. That is where you will be connected with like-minded filmmakers and have instant access to learning ways to improve your own skills so you feel more confident about working on set as a professional. So welcome to the Dog Times community, and I'll chat with you soon.